All right, it is almost 2 o'clock, where we are ready for our next session. I welcome you, Mr. Gonzalez. However, since it's time, I will already start hoping that everyone is here. Hello and welcome back for everyone to our sessions here at Inspector Clouseau Hall for the Security Summit 2021 conference. I thank you all for joining us, and I hope you are all doing well. With us here, we have the sales representative for the Eagle Eye Networks. His name is Oscar Gonzalez. Oscar is leading the EMEA region in the East, being with Eagle Eye Networks for more than 18 months. Eagle Eye Networks, for those who don't know, is a company providing cloud-based video surveillance products for physical security and business operation applications. They are changing the video surveillance industry with Eagle Eye Video API platform, a secure open platform that provides the flexibility and the scalability for your meet and evolving needs. His topic for today is how the Eagle Eye Cloud VMS will simplify your video surveillance system. Welcome, Oscar. It is our pleasure to have you here today, and you can now take the stage. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Mohammed, for the introduction. I'm very happy to be here. As Mohammed said, my name is Oscar, and today we'll be covering how the Eagle Eye Cloud VMS solution could really help you simplify your business and what are the main benefits. So now, well, actually, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the chat. We'll be covering them after the presentation. So now let's jump into the presentation. I'm going to share the screen. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so to get started, the first thing I would like to talk about is, second. Yeah, the first thing I would like to talk about is just to give you some context regarding where do we come from. So Eagle Eye, it's coming from the IT and the cybersecurity background. Actually, the CEO of Eagle Eye Networks is Dean Draco. He founded Eagle Eye 9 years ago, and he's actually the former president and CEO of Barracuda Networks. So probably you guys are more familiar with Barracuda. So let's say that the cybersecurity, it's in our DNA, right? So if we move on, we are going to talk about now about data centers and let's say cloud. So we are the only video cloud provider in the security market that don't use any third-party provider like Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure. So we have our own DevOps team that it's running the data centers globally. So as you can see here, we have multiple data centers distributed globally. We have 4 in Europe. 2 of them are in Amsterdam, and the other one is in Frankfurt in Germany. But there are more distributed in different parts of the world. So now I would like to dive into, let's say, what problems we are solving and how we can help companies to centralize, let's say, their systems into one unique platform. So I would like to start by explaining that we are a camera agnostic company. So that means that we are built to support almost any camera in the market, as long as it has multi-stream or dual stream. Okay, so meaning that we can work with IP cameras, we can work with analog cameras, and right now we have more than 5,000 cameras compatible in our platform. So on the other hand, we have the problem that we're solving, which is decentralization. So this is something that it really works pretty well for, let's say, multi-site tenants that they maybe have, let's say, I don't know, 50 sites. So they can have everything centralized in one unique platform, which helps them manage their business operation in a more efficient way. So this is actually the architecture of the platform. This is how easy it's to install it and so on. So as you can see here, we have a device which is called the Eagle Eye Bridge or the CMBR. This is basically the enabler to the cloud. Okay, so as you can see here, we have two ports. We have the camera port, where we basically connect the cameras, so it can be IP or analog. So we have different bridges or CMBRs that are let's say based on IP or analog cameras, and then we have the one port where we connect the router. So this the internet cable, sorry. So this device is acting as a firewall. So let's put an example. Let's say that any camera is coming with a malware. This device, the bridge, it won't allow this camera to go through. So one of also of the reasons to have these two ports that are isolated is that to do not allow any cross information with the data. So no hackers can access to the cameras or to the internet and vice versa, right? So once the footage is in the bridge, then it encrypts the video and it sends the video to the cloud. Here in the cloud, the video is saved with triple redundancy. Okay, so if in case any let's say server is under maintenance, then we have it there. And then after that, then you will be able to view the video through the web application in the browser, through the phone app or the tablet. Okay, so moving on, we have let's say the open API, which is a nice topic. So we have an open platform, an open API that allows us to integrate with third-party providers. So we can either integrate with a third-party, let's say, analytics company, with alarm monitoring companies, which for now we have these names here. So right now we are also investing a lot in AI, and we want to be the leader in that. And as you can see, this is something really important for us. Also, something I would like to mention is that when you get a system like this, you are getting something that it's forever. Let's say that you're getting updates remotely, you're getting new features that are being added. You don't have to pay anything for these new features. Okay, you will benefit from them. Okay, so moving on, just to do a quick sum up of what we talk now. So the eCloud Cloud VMS has no cost for new features. It has a lifetime warranty on the bridges. There are no servers to support. We support almost any camera, including IP, analog, and HD over coax. Then it's built. It's a VMS built in the cloud, and then it's designed to reduce operational cost. No software to update, and it's cross-browser compatible. So you can see it's a very flexible solution. So now, before diving into the platform, I would like to just take maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes for the audience to maybe download the app. They can just do it through the App Store or the Google Play, and they will have access to a demo, which I'm going to show you now. So the only thing that you need to do to log in is just shake your phone. So you need to grab your phone and shake it, and then you'll have access to it. So maybe let's just give 30 seconds, and then we will just jump into the platform.
All right, I will do the same to follow up on your presentation.
Perfect, sounds good. So you just give some time to the audience to scan this code.
Yes.
Okay, so I think that's enough. Let's now jump into the platform. So this is basically what you see when you first log into the platform. Okay, so the first thing that you see is the layouts. So before talking in terms of more like in deep, I would like to just stop here and just explain how we're going to divide this demo. So first, we are going to talk about how to give how to view live video. Okay, that's going to be the first stage. Then the second stage will be how to recorded video and how's the user management. And the last part is going to be the business model behind. So what's the business model that we have? Okay. So let's now dive into the layouts. So the first thing that you see here is a preview resolution. Okay. So we divide this into the MJPEG resolution, okay, which is the preview one, and then the high quality. So we have two lines of streaming. So if I open this, it will just pop up a new tab, and then it will provide me the high quality footage. So I can even zoom in and just dive and check what's going on. Okay, so now, as you can see here in the layouts, we can create groups of cameras. So we can create groups per floors. We can create groups per, let's say, different cities. Important to mention that this is a live demo from the US. So actually now it's already morning. So then we'll have some light in and maybe people walking by, which is nice. Then also we have the tags. So in the tags, we can create subcategories of cameras. Like for instance, if we want to make the navigation more, let's say, efficient, we want to check the elevators, then we check elevators in a very easy manner. The same goes for entrances. So if we want to check the entrances and we want to see what's going on, we just have to just click and see what's going on. So it makes the whole navigation of finding a camera way more easier. Okay. And then lastly, in how to view live video, we have the map. Okay, so we have an integration with Google Maps, and as you can see now, we have the map, which is quite big because we have a camera in Amsterdam, we have a few more in Texas, Austin. So now let's just go to this building, for instance. So if I click show all, then it will provide me this building where I can check all my cameras if they are working. So now it's saying it's online. I can see them in, I can view them in lifetime. I can even access to the camera settings, and I can even also access to the historic view. Okay, so that works for all the cameras that are here. Okay, so now I would like to jump into the historic view, so which is the second stage of let's say the demo. So we're gonna go to the maybe an elevator camera. It's nice. So we're gonna try to find people. Let's go here. Let's click the clock, and then it will open this tab where we can see our video. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna go to 8 hours. We're gonna go to, let's say, I don't know, one. You can actually just do this from here. You can just go to different days and you can just choose the time, but we're gonna do it this way now. And then maybe we can go to the search option. We search for key images, and then we will get here some frames where we can see video. So I'm gonna press this one and we are getting motion. And then if we make this bigger and I press play, then we're gonna get this video where the camera is detecting motion. So we are getting this guy who is getting into the elevator, okay? So as you can see, we are getting all this motion detection marked with a blue line. So that doesn't mean that when there is a gray area that the camera is not recording. That means that the camera is recording, but in low resolution. So you can set up on the settings if you want to record 24/7 in high quality, or if you want to record only when any event is happening. So when, for instance, the motion is being triggered, okay? So now let's imagine that this guy, it's a theft, or maybe you want to report this to the police, for instance. So we can click save, okay? We put the timestamp based on your time zone. Let's now say Amsterdam, okay? And we have two options. We have the download option, which is the traditional download to your computer. And then we have the archive. So with the archive, what we can do is we can keep and store video forever within the platform. So it's acting as some sort of Dropbox. So actually, let's just dive into the archive. So for instance, you can create different folders, like I don't know, like for instance, incident videos. So you get all your incident videos grouped together. This is an example, for instance. So we get here the video, and what we can do, we can click share, for instance. We copy this, and I can just share this link with anyone. I can share it with the police, I can share it with my manager, and we can even set up an expiration date, which makes everything way more easier, right? So you don't have to go, let's say, on premise, take out the video and do all this process, which can take time, and also it can it can save some money, right? So as I said, the archive, it's a Dropbox, some sort of Dropbox where you can store video forever, okay? You're gonna save your clips of videos, your important videos here. Then on the downloads are, let's say, linked to the retention period that we have, okay? So if a camera has, let's say, 30 days cloud retention, after 30 days, the video will expire. So if you want to keep the video, because it's important to you, then you archive it, and then you can still view this video whenever you want. Okay, so now let's move on into the users. Okay, so when it comes to the users, we can have as many users as what you want. So there is unlimited, and there is no license fees or anything. It's free of charge. Okay, so from here we can manage the permission level for each, let's say, user. So let's just click this one. So we can even disable the user because this user is not working with us anymore. We can just grant access based on, let's say, the working hours or only non-work hours, or you can just customize when it's your working hours or when it's the period of time that you want to grant access. Then we have the cameras, so you can grant access to different cameras. Like I want you to be able to view these 3 cameras, for instance. The same goes for the layouts. I want you to be able to only view the common areas, but nothing else. So you can play with this based on, let's say, the employee level. And lastly, we have the permissions. So in the permissions, it's where you can manage if, let's say, someone has access to the download section, if they can view recorded video or not, or if they can actually manage the settings and so on. So it's a very flexible platform that it really helps to be on top of everything. So now, after the users, I would like to jump into the dashboard. So the dashboard is what is showing you the health of the system, which means if everything is working fine, if the cameras are connected, if the bridges are working well, and so on. So the way we connect a bridge is as easy as just clicking this plus here. So then we put the attach ID, which is below the box, and then we have the bridge name, which is what we can just name it. Okay. Then here, once the bridge is connected, it will just get and gather all the cameras that are attached to this bridge. So then we can access to these cameras. So for instance, we can actually access to the camera through a VPN. So now we'll just open there you go, the settings. So if we put the password for this camera, we will get access to the camera settings. Then we also have an intelligent bandwidth system, which could really work very well in some, let's say, environments. So let's put an example. Let's say, okay, a retail store, for instance, and they don't have a very good internet, so that could be an issue, right? So we can just set up this to, we're gonna use the 10% of the bandwidth, let's say during the day, and then let's say during the night when the shop is closed, then we are gonna go for the 50%. That way we are playing with the bandwidth to make the bandwidth work smooth, okay? Then if we go to the metrics, we can actually get to see if everything is working fine. So how much bandwidth we are using. Also, if the camera is if the bridge is doing buffering. So this is also another important topic, which is the bridge can do buffer up to 48 hours, meaning that if the connection goes down, then we are not losing the video. So we are buffering the video within the bridge, and then once the connection is back, then we send the video back to the cloud. Okay. So now, also, we have our own switches, which are right here. Let's, yeah, there you go. So if we open here in the settings, okay, we can actually power cycle individual, let's say, cameras from the switch. Okay, so we can work with almost any switch in the market as well, but we provide our switches which has this, let's say, interesting feature. So if I power off this camera, then it will just power off this individual, let's say, channel, this camera, and I can just power in again. Okay, so now let's dive into the business model. Okay, before going to that, let's go to this camera, because I will also show you the analytics. So let's pick this one, for instance, camera settings. So in the first tab that we see, we get to see when we want the camera to be on, if we want it to be on 24 hours, no work hours, you can choose. Then we can create the tags. So as I said, the tags works like some sort of a Twitter hashtag. So we can just say elevator, for instance, so that it will be in the elevators category. Okay. Then we get to the business model. So we use two parameters, okay, to charge our customers. So we use the retention and the resolution. These two parameters combined creates a fee per camera. So this fee can be monthly, can be yearly, or can be prepaid. Okay, so this is the cloud retention. So in the cloud retention, we have up to 5 years. So this will be based on, let's say, the law in each country. Normally in Europe, we are talking about that the maximum is 30 days. Okay, and then we have the resolution. So in the resolution, this camera, for instance, it's a 4 megapixel camera, but we decided to downgrade it to 2 megapixel. The reason for that is because it's a very flexible platform, and we allow, let's say, the customer to choose what's the settings that they like. Meaning that, let's put an example. The camera one, it's pointing, let's say, an open area, which maybe we need some quality. We want to record 30 days, and we want to record, let's say, a 3 megapixel. Then the camera 2, maybe it's pointing to a small corridor, which is maybe not that important. Okay, so then we want to record only 7 days. And then the resolution, we are gonna just say 1 megapixel. So that way, we are allowing the customer to choose and to have the option to be flexible, right? So then a different part is the motion. The motion is free of charge. Okay, so you can have different motions and as many motions as you like. So a good example of it is this one. So this I'm not sure if you can maybe see it, but there is a screen right here. So we decided to mask this out and decrease the sensitivity to 0, meaning that then now this camera won't be getting false negative in terms of motion. Okay, you can actually do it the other way around. You can just create another region, you can just mask it as you like. Okay, and then you can say, okay, I want to increase the sensitivity to 100, and you can even activate some sort of alerts. Okay, then we jump into the analytics. So even though the analytics are not, let's say, our core business, we provide some analytics that works really well. So we have counting, we have line crossing, we have intrusion detection, loitering, and tampering, and we are adding more and more analytics from time to time. So if I'm not wrong, in the coming months, we are getting the plate recognition analytic. So when it comes to counting, for instance, we go to counting, we can just create a line here. Okay, so we can just set this up, and then it will start counting the amount of people that is going in and the amount of people that is going out. Okay, and also the amount of people that is getting inside. After that, you can even get a report that you can actually use for marketing purposes or for different purposes. I will show you later. Then we have the loitering. The loitering is, let's say, you can create a mask and you can create an alert, and you can say, okay, if someone is spending more than 10 seconds during non-work hours in this region, I want this guy, and this guy to receive an alert. So the way they will receive an alert, it will be this way. So they will just get a push notification to their phone, and also they will get an email with a direct link to this event, so they can be on top of what's going on. Okay. There are more analytics, of course. We have the tampering one. So if someone is trying to manipulate the camera or trying to move it, then we'll also can activate the alarm. Okay. So also different features that we can offer is that we have the fisheye dewarping. So as you can see here, we have multiple, let's say, fisheye cameras. And if I click here and I put the quad vision, okay, let's see, my computer is freezing now. Okay. Let's see. Let's give it some time.
On one of the cameras, I've actually seen a car that was crashed in.
Yeah, actually, this one, it's showing the quad vision. But yeah, I want just to show you, if you click here in this arrow, then it just provide, let's say, what's the vision that you want to see. But yeah, it seems that my computer is freezing now. Let's see if it gets back to normal. Let's see.
It's all right. It's normal these days.
Yeah, that's the life technical issues.
That raises time for a good question. In case something like this happens with the network of the camera, will the video freeze or will it continue recording regardless of the network?
So it will continue recording because the bridge can do buffering up to 48 hours. So once the internet connection goes back, then the video will get back to the platform.
Oh, that is great.
So yeah,
great.
So it seems it's my computer is working again. I just don't want to touch this, maybe because maybe it freezes again. But yeah, so if I open this, then it will just provide this quad vision where I can see the camera. So you can, let's say, convert one camera into, let's say, 4. Also, I want to show you different, let's say, features that we have here. Oh my God. Why? Yeah, Google Chrome sometimes it eats the whole CPU. It's insane.
It works. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. So well, maybe if there are more questions, I can just answer them while the computer is it's just trying to load again. Are there more questions? So
I'm checking the chat box. Apparently, there is not currently. I do encourage everyone that is watching, if they do have questions, to post them, to use this opportunity to ask. Hopefully they will.
Yeah, let's see. Otherwise, maybe I will close the Google Chrome again and I will reopen it. I think maybe that's the smartest option. Yeah, I'm gonna do it actually.
I do have one question here.
Okay.
Is there a limit of the number of cameras that can be installed? And how is the network operating in the case of heavy load?
Yeah, so this platform actually is built to scale, which means that it's built to allow easy and very fast scalable for any customer. So there are no limit of cameras, so they can have as many cameras as they like, and that's not an issue. And what was the second question?
How is the network operating when there's a heavy load? That was the second question.
Yeah, so you mean if there is, let's say, many cameras, and then you want to, let's say, upload the video, maybe the bandwidth is not, let's say, enough to upload all this video, right?
Probably. Is there a possibility of the network crashing? Has that ever happened?
Yeah. So if that happens, and so sometimes just before, let's say, going into an installation, it's always nice to, let's say, do a quick understanding of the network. So if we need to know what are the bandwidth, so then we provide what are the bandwidth requirements for this equipment. Okay, so the bridge, it's a full cloud option, and then for different environments where the bandwidth is not that great, we have the CMBR. So the CMBR, it's actually it's more or less, it looks the same as the bridge, but it's different. It's acting as a hybrid option. So it's recording locally and it's uploading, let's say, the low resolution footage to the cloud. Okay, so and everything is managed through the cloud. Everything is managed through the platform. Okay, so actually, some of the cameras that I show here, they were from CMBR, and you cannot really realize if they are coming from the CMBR or from the bridge. So that's the main difference between them, right? So the CMBR is recording locally, and the bridge is fully cloud option. So for answering your question, the CMBR will be the option to go for if the internet connection is not great.
All right, thank you for your answer. I do
Perfect.
have to say I'm very impressed by some of the features and options you have on the app. It's quite amazing, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very, let's say, flexible platform, which also I think it's important. So everyone have, let's say, the flexibility to choose, right? And even more in these times where there can be uncertainty, you can actually in the end go and choose, okay, maybe I want to have this camera on only for 15 days, then you only pay for these 15 days, not for the whole month. So it's a pay for what you use. So which in the end, I believe this is something also important to offer and have this flexibility around. So I wanted also to show you the integration that we have with the thermal cameras. So now let's go to thermal, and if I go here, okay, I can go to the settings and I can show you that you can set up, let's say, what's the...
I believe your presentation is not on.
Yeah, it's not on?
Yeah, it seems like.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I
All
think...
right.
Okay,
now
perfect.
It works great.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
thank you.
Okay, yeah. So I wanted to show the thermal part. We have an integration. So if you open this, we can even go to the thermal part in the tab, and you can set up, let's say, which is the minimum alert temperature, for instance. So it can be Fahrenheit or Celsius. Okay, and you can just set up what's the temperature, let's say 38, and then you can set up to receive alerts if there is any above this temperature, for instance. There's also the possibility to have body worn cameras. Okay, so let's put them here. Body. So a guard can just have the body worn, and they can just walk and then stream the video to the cloud, so you can just get to see everything in live. So that's also a nice feature that we have. And then also in terms of AI, which you can just search for zip code, and then it will just provide you the cameras that are within this zip code, right? What else? Here, I wanted to show now the analytics part, okay? So in terms of analytics, I want to show this tab. So here, you can actually get a CSV document, so you can actually use it for any marketing purposes or just to check. So let's put a very easy example. So maybe a shop, so they want to track what's the peak time, what's the peak hour. So they are counting how many people is going in, how many people is going out. So then they get a report where they can get to see what's the peak time, for instance. So they can know, learn what's the time where maybe they need more people working there, right? So these analytics can be used after for any other purposes, not only to know how many people it's in there, right? The way it works, actually, if I go to this one, for instance, let's open this one. Wait, can you see the
It is still loading, but yeah,
okay,
we can see
yeah,
it.
yeah. I think maybe I have to reopen it. Yeah, okay. Now I think now it's working. So yeah, if I go here, actually now people is starting to come to the office in the US. So if I press play, okay, let's see. It should now provide us a line crossing, okay? So I'm not sure if you can guys see it, but there is a blue mark line, this blue mark. Also, there is a green mark, which it's showing that the analytic is being triggered. And then there's also a very tiny, let's say, black line, which means that a cross line has been done, okay? So this is how the analytics works. So that's how easy you can track them and get to there, right? So yeah. So I think this is pretty much, let's say, the platform. Of course, we can get deeper and deeper in different parts, but this is, let's say, a good overview of how we can help, let's say, companies, right? And I'm not sure if the audience has any questions, but yeah, I'm happy to help, and maybe they want to see any specific part. I'm happy also to show it to the audience. So let's see if people have some questions.
All right. Currently, there aren't any questions right now. It seems like I do encourage everyone to ask questions, to use this opportunity. However, if someone is not able to currently, they can always, of course, connect with Mr. Gonzalez here on the Connect2B platform.
Yeah,
and hopefully, yeah, for business and development. Yeah, hopefully. I do have a side question though, for myself. I see that these cameras are public. Is it the choice of the owner of the
yeah,
cameras? Yeah.
yeah.
They
So
have an option for like a private network.
yeah, of course. So these cameras that we are showing, they are either from our office in Texas. This one is in Amsterdam, and some of them are from some customers that we request access to them, and they provide us access to make these cameras public. But of course, you can put them like private, and no one will have access to them, even for, let's say, the reseller portal. So which actually, I think this is something interesting to show. So I'm gonna show the reseller portal, because I'm aware here there could be some resellers or system integrators companies. So this is in Spanish again, and let me switch it to English. My computer is so I'm originally from Spain, so that's why it's
Yes.
so now let's just put it back in English. Okay. So this is the let's say the reseller or system integrated portal. So here they can actually manage all their customers. So for instance, they can check, okay, this is my customer. They have 2 bridges, they have 26 cameras, and these are the users that they have. Okay, so you can see if everything is working well. So for instance, this one has 2 cameras offline, 3 of them are off, and if anything happens, you get a notification from the system. So let's say that there is one camera from your customer that is going offline. You can always just call your customer right away, and you can be on top of that. So you can say, hey, this camera went offline. So do you want me to take a look at it? Do you want me to fix it? Or are you aware of it? So this helps you to be always on top of that. Also, when it comes to the account settings, okay, I want to show this part, which is the white labeling part. So this is, of course, for system integrators. So here, what we provide is this white labeling. So we can just put the company name, the support email, the support phone, the subdomain, and even the logo of the system integrated company. So instead of having the Eagle Eye logo here, we will have the logo of the system integrator, the subdomain of the system integrator, and so on. So they will be managing their clients, and we will be providing the technology in the background. Okay, so that's the way we work with our let's say partners. And also in the users, the same goes, right? You can just grant access to who has access to view, depending which accounts, right? Then also we have the audit log, so you can check everything that is being, let's say, touched. So you can always go to get the CSV and so on. So yeah, this, as I said, this is pretty much, let's say, the reseller dashboard and the platform. So I would like to let's say sum up to mention that Eagle Eye in the end, it's delivering secure cloud-based video with AI and analytics, okay, that I show you. And we are doing this to make businesses more efficient and to make, let's say, the world a safer safer place. Okay, so yeah, that's, I think, a good sum up of what we are doing, and also with this live demo that I did to all the audience that we have today.
Yeah, wonderful. Sounds wonderful. We just had a quick question come up.
Nice.
So Ivan Sval is asking, IT hardware, any special router or switch hardware needed on site? That's a good question.
We will adapt to what the end user has. So if they have new switches and they don't want to invest in new ones from us, we are happy to work with that. There are no ports to open in terms of a network when it comes to the internet, so we can work with any router. So that's also not an issue at all. So in the end, we are built to try to adapt to what the customer has, right? To try to be as flexible as possible in there. So we will try to adapt to cameras. So if they have new cameras, that's not an issue. We will work with what they have. It can be either IP, analog, HD, or coax. The same goes for the switches and the router the same. So we work with any router in the market. Yeah.
I hope that answers your question, Ivan. Thank you for answering.
I hope so too.
Yeah. Well, if there aren't any questions, I do encourage everyone to connect with Mr. Gonzalez on the Connect2B platform, so we all can benefit from this conference. Thank you for your presentation, and we appreciate you dividing the time
my
for
pleasure.
this.
My pleasure. Just,
Yeah.
as you said, everyone, feel free to get in touch with me in the Connect platform. Feel free to send me a message if you have any question, and I'll be happy to answer them and to even just have a meeting with you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. We all appreciate it.
Perfect.
All right. For everyone that is still here, our next session will be starting at 3 p.m. Central European Time. I hope to see you then. Thank you very much for joining us on this session.